Welcome to Synergy Home Care of Cape Fear. We're so excited you're here. In this SimLab video, we'll walk you through the essential tools, policies, and protocols that help keep you, our clients, and their families safe and supported. Before we get into the essential policies and protocols of your role as a caregiver, let's take a moment to step back and look at the big picture. Let's review. Behind the scenes, how a client becomes part of Synergy Home Care. Before you ever walk into a client's home, there's an entire process happening behind the scenes to make sure both you and the client are set up for success. It starts with a referral or inquiry. This might come from a family member, a client themselves, or one of our trusted referral partners. Next, we conduct a home safety check. This allows us to ensure the client's home is safe for caregivers, and it's also when we go over service agreements, billing structure, and client policies. Once the home is approved, a registered nurse, as required by the state of North Carolina, visits the home to conduct a formal evaluation. This RN creates a care plan tailored to the client's needs, and that plan is reviewed and finalized by Ashley, our clinical nurse manager. From there, our director of home care or scheduling team updates the client's profile and identifies the right caregiver. We use Access Care to offer shifts and match clients based on skills, location, and availability. Once you're assigned to a new client, you'll receive care plan notes directly in Access Care messaging, sent by either Angie or Ashley. These notes are typically sent 24 to 72 hours in advance. In urgent cases, you might receive them the same day. If you'd like a phone call to walk through the care plan, we're happy to do that. Just reply to the message and we'll make it happen before your first shift. Every step of this process is designed to protect you, the client, and the quality of care we deliver. Now that you've seen what goes on behind the scenes to bring a new client into our care, let's shift focus to your role in protecting that relationship. Every connection we make with a client begins with trust, and that trust starts with confidentiality. Let's take a moment to review the core principles of HIPAA and client privacy, because how we handle sensitive information is just as important as the care we provide. Everything you learn or observe in the home is confidential. That means no sharing details with friends, family, or even other clients. If you're speaking in the office or over the phone, don't use names or reveal private information out loud. It's simple. If they're not authorized, they don't get the info. It's very important that you do not give your personal phone number to any client or their family member. All communication should go through your supervisor or the Synergy office line. This isn't just a best practice, it's a HIPAA requirement and a legal protection for both you and the client. Sharing your number could lead to off-the-record conversations about care, which puts you and the company at risk of violating federal privacy laws. It also protects your well-being, so clients aren't reaching out to you during your personal time when you're off the clock and recharging. If a client asks for your number, just say, "I'm not allowed to give out my personal number, but the office is happy to help you anytime." As a caregiver, understanding the type of care you're providing is one of the most important parts of your role. Every client we serve is different, but we classify their care needs into two main categories, Level 1 and Level 2. Let's start with Level 1, companionship care. This level of care is non-medical and non-hands-on. It's all about supporting the client emotionally and socially, helping them stay active and independent at home. Some examples of Level 1 care include light housekeeping, meal prep or grocery lists, friendly conversation and companionship, transportation to appointments, medication reminders. This level does not include hands-on personal care like bathing or toileting. Next, we have Level 2, personal care, and this is where most of our clients fall. These clients require everything in Level 1, plus direct, hands-on support. This might include bathing or showering, dressing and grooming, toileting and incontinence care, transferring assistance like getting in or out of bed, help with feeding, memory care support for dementia or Alzheimer's, Level 2 requires more physical involvement, and we want you to feel fully prepared and trained to safely support these clients. To help you get a better picture of the kinds of tasks you may perform, we've created a form called 50 Ways We Care. This pamphlet breaks down real, everyday examples of how we care for our clients across both Level 1 and Level 2. We ask that you take a few moments at the end of this video to read through that form carefully. It will give you a solid understanding of what your day-to-day might look like and how we live out our mission to enrich lives and promote independence and dignity. If you ever feel unsure about what level of care a client needs or what you should or shouldn't be doing, please don't hesitate to contact our office. We're here to support you every step of the way. Now that you've received a summary of the levels of care we provide, it's time to talk about one of the most critical areas of your role, what you absolutely cannot do. Let's dive into medication compliance and other important care boundaries. These are non-negotiable. They exist to protect you, the client, and the license of our agency. You may hand medication to the client, read labels aloud, help open containers. You may not administer, suggest, or Google medications, apply ointments or eye drops, trim fingernails or toenails. If there is confusion, refusal, or concern, contact your caregiver manager or nurse manager and document everything. Now that we've reviewed what's within your scope of care when it comes to medication and personal care, it's just as important to understand how to respond in life-threatening or end-of-life situations. This brings us to a topic that is both legal and deeply personal. Advance directives. If a client is on hospice or has a DNR, know that you should not perform CPR, but you still must call 911 unless directed otherwise by a hospice protocol. Always be aware of the care plan and keep our team updated. Now that you have a better understanding of the different levels of care we provide and some of the many ways we serve our clients, we want to shift gears for a moment. As a Synergy Home Care caregiver, your safety matters just as much as the care you give. When you step into a client's home, you're stepping into a new environment. And just like with any workplace, there are important safety factors to keep in mind. In the next part of this training, we'll walk through key topics like how to handle emergency situations, what to do if you feel unsafe, and how to document or report any concerns. These guidelines are not just for your protection, but also to help ensure we provide consistent, professional, and safe care to every client. So let's dive into the safety protocols and best practices for working in home environments. If a client becomes aggressive, threatening, or inappropriate, your safety comes first. Remove yourself, call your supervisor, and if needed, alert any family present. Never leave a client alone unless directed. If it's unsafe to stay, sit in your locked car and call 911 if needed. Use this phrase, "I apologize, but this is out of my scope of care. I'm happy to contact my supervisor who can assist." Sometimes when you arrive at a client's home, they might not answer the door right away, and that can feel unsettling. But we have a clear process to keep both you and the client safe. Start by knocking or ringing the doorbell and give the client a full 10 minutes to respond. Many of our clients move slowly, maybe using assistive devices, or could be in the bathroom. Patience is key. If there's still no answer, call your caregiver manager right away. The office will attempt to call the client and their emergency contact. If we're unable to reach anyone and safety is a concern, 911 will be contacted. You should remain at the client's home during this time unless instructed otherwise. If it feels safe and there are no pets in the backyard, you may check the back door or look through a nearby uncovered window to see if the client is visible. If you see your client on the floor, appear in distress, or hear them calling for help, call 911 immediately and wait for emergency personnel to arrive. If you can, offer reassurance through the door while waiting. It's all about staying calm, following protocol, and protecting our clients to the best of your ability. Emergencies can happen quickly, and when they do, your focus must be on safety above all else, both yours and your clients'. Let's walk through what to do if there's a fire, gas leak, chemical spill, or any other immediate danger inside the home. First and foremost, get yourself and your client out of the house immediately. Leave behind all personal belongings, such as purse or keys. Do not stop to grab the client's walker, shoes, or even pets. If it's not safe, leave it. Never leave the client alone. If the client insists you stay or go back inside, kindly but firmly reassure them that their safety is your top priority and that help is on the way. Once outside, call 911 immediately. Stay with the client and keep them calm. Wait for emergency personnel to arrive before re-entering or making contact with the home. If you're ever unsure whether a situation qualifies as an emergency, it probably does. Call 911 first, then notify your supervisor. A few real-world examples. You smell gas in the home, evacuate immediately. You see smoke or an active fire, evacuate immediately. You feel dizzy, disoriented, or see chemicals spilled or leaking, evacuate immediately. You do not need to ask permission to act. You are empowered to respond to keep yourself and the client safe. The majority of the care we provide takes place directly in the client's home. It's where we build trust, consistency, and comfort for those we serve. However, there are cases where you may be scheduled to work in a facility setting, such as an assisted living center, skilled nursing facility, rehab center, or even independent living communities. When this happens, we'll always gather the necessary intake information in advance so that you're fully prepared before your first shift. This includes where to park, whether you check in at the front desk or go straight to your client's room, what to do after hours or in emergencies, whether personal care is permitted or limited to companionship. We'll review these details with you ahead of time so you feel confident walking into that facility. While on site, you may encounter other care professionals, such as home health aides, physical therapists, RNs, occupational therapists, care managers, or hospice staff. Always respect their time, their space, and the client's interaction with them. If hospice is present, be especially mindful. These can be emotional and sensitive visits for families, so your calm, quiet support matters more than you may realize. And here's an important reminder. If something comes up, whether it's a change in schedule, an emergency, or you're unsure of what to do, contact your Synergy caregiver manager first. Do not try to resolve things directly with facility staff. We will always reach out on your behalf if needed to ensure continuity and professionalism. Our goal is to always uphold our values: compassion, respect, and dependability, whether we're in a private home or a shared care environment. Now that we've reviewed what to do in emergencies and how to work respectfully in both home and facility settings, this is an important reminder. As a caregiver with Synergy Home Care, you are a mandated reporter. That means if you see, hear, or even suspect that a client is being harmed, physically, emotionally, sexually, or if their living environment feels unsafe, you are legally and ethically required to report it. You are not expected to investigate. You simply need to alert your supervisor immediately, and we will take it from there. Your awareness and action could quite literally save someone from harm. Before we move into hands-on training, we want to pause and highlight two key medical scenarios that are common in home care settings. By now, you've completed your online training, which covered a variety of health conditions, client behaviors, and emergency protocols. That foundation is critical, and we thank you for taking it seriously. As we shift into the sim lab, we want to quickly review a couple of high-priority topics that you're very likely to encounter on the job: memory care and stroke response. Let's start with memory care. Many of our clients live with some form of cognitive decline: Alzheimer's, dementia, or mild memory loss. Your tone, patience, and presence make all the difference. Speak slowly and clearly. Repetition is okay. If your client becomes confused or frustrated, stay calm and continue to gently reorient them. If you notice changes, such as new confusion, paranoia, or increased forgetfulness, document it and notify your supervisor right away. And remember, sundowning can occur in the late afternoon or evening. It often shows up as anxiety, confusion, wandering, or agitation. If this happens, lower the lights, reduce noise, stick to a predictable routine, and most importantly, stay calm and grounded for them. Another situation you may encounter is a stroke. Speed and awareness can save a life. You've already reviewed the BFAST acronym in your training, but let's quickly go over it again before you practice this in the sim lab. B balance, sudden loss of balance or coordination. E eyes, blurred or double vision. F face, facial drooping, usually on one side. Arms, weakness or numbness in one arm or leg. S speech, slurred or hard to understand. T time, if you see any of these signs, call 911 immediately. You do not need permission. You don't need to double check. If it looks or feels like a stroke, take action. We'll now walk through what this might look like in real time during hands-on training. You are the heart of Synergy. Your empathy, professionalism, and presence make all the difference. Thank you for choosing to be part of our team, and never hesitate to reach out if you have questions. You've got this. Now that you've completed this portion of your onboarding, it's time to begin the hands-on portion of your SimLab training. In this next step, we'll focus on practicing client transfers and safe body mechanics, reviewing proper hygiene and toileting techniques, demonstrating how to assist with mobility and walking aids, simulating real-world scenarios like responding to falls, refusals, and behavioral changes. This is your chance to ask questions, build confidence, and apply everything you've learned. Let's get started.